Did you know that kids under 2 in Sweden shouldn't have any screen time at all? And for older kids, it should be very limited. This is according to the Swedish government when they updated their guidelines pretty recently. This is because too much screen time can shorten their attention span and even make it harder for them to focus in school. In today's video, I'm diving into why books are the best gifts that we can give to our kids. And in my opinion, why they might just be the answer to raising calmer and more focused kids. So let's break this down. Hi, my name is Linnéa. I'm a Montessori teacher, a mom, and a children's book nerd. And welcome to my channel, The Bookworm Club. This is a video I've been wanting to do for quite some time, but I wanted to get it right. So here we go, I'll do my best. So, books versus screens. It's a topic that's probably more relevant now than ever. With screens everywhere, books are kind of taking the back seat. But here's the thing. Books help kids grow, develop focus, and spark creativity in a way that screens really can't. So stick with me, I'm going to break it down why books win every time for me and share tips on how to make reading a part of your everyday life with your kids. So let's start with a big one that I think is really important, which is attention span. Reading books trains kids' brains to focus. When kids read or listen to us read to them, they have to follow a story, understand the words, and imagine what happens. It's active, it builds patience. Screens, on the other hand, are mostly passive. Flashing images and quick cuts and short videos overstimulate their brains and teaches them to expect instant entertainment. Over time, this can make it really hard for kids to sit still and concentrate, whether at school, at home, or even playing with friends. Here in Sweden, it's actually recommended that kids under 2 don't have any screen time at all, and older kids, it should be very limited, because the early years are when kids develop key skills like focus, language, and imagination, and books support all of these. Okay, so let's look at imagination. Books do something that screens never will. They build a child's imagination. Just like imagine yourself when you're reading a book. Your brain is working really hard to visualize these characters and surroundings and settings, and it creates an entire world. With a screen, all of this is made for them. So the imagination muscle is not getting exercise. And then there's another important one. Language development. Reading exposes kids to more words, better grammar, and better storytelling than screens do. Did you know that kids who have been read to regularly has a vocabulary that's over twice as big compared to kids who have not been read to? And this really makes a huge difference for kids once they start school. Both my husband and my mother-in-law are teachers, and they can really tell what kids have grown up reading books, or maybe the kids that have been more relying on a screen, in terms of like attention span and vocabulary, language, and being able to focus. And they really had to kind of fight to get them to read books in like high school and stuff. And here's one of my favorite reasons for why reading is so important to me. Bonding time. Sitting down to read with your kids, whether it's before bedtime or just curled up on the sofa any time of day, it's one of the most calming and connecting things you can do, in my opinion. And for me, screens can't replace that quiet, cozy time. And usually when you give a child like a phone or an iPad, you're not really sitting there with them and being engaged with what they're doing, but with a book you are. Now, I'm not saying screens are all bad. Educational apps and shows can definitely teach kids many things, and let's be real, sometimes screens give us parents a well-deserved break. But here's the key, and I think you're already trying to do this, but it's balance. Too much screen time comes with pretty real risks, like overstimulation, shorter attention span, and trouble settling down. It's up to us adults to set limits and offer books first. I know it's really difficult because when you give a screen to a kid, it's probably going to want to prefer the screen because it's more instant gratification. And then they're going to think a book is pretty boring compared to a screen, and then we're kind of in that vicious cycle. So what we've been trying to do with our daughter, to try really hard to not give her any screen time. She's 1.5 almost, and she really likes books actually. She can sit down by herself just flipping through a book and be really happy with that. We actually never really feel the need to give her a screen. So our goal has been to kind of get her really interested in books before we even introduce screens. But I know it can be really hard. So here are 4 simple ways to make reading part of your family's life. Number 1, make reading time really special. Create a cozy corner with blankets and pillow, make it feel like a real treat. I'm actually creating like a family reading nook right now, and I think our daughter is going to really like it. So I'll show you that in a few videos to give you some inspiration. Number 2, lead by example. Like so many things with parenting, kids do what you do. So when your kids see you actually read a book, then they'll probably want to read a book too. Number 3, offer books before screens. When your kids are bored, try to give them a book instead of a screen. It might take a little time, but in my experience, I think they'll get into it. And I think one of the most important ones is number 4, find books that they'll love. If kids think reading is boring, then maybe they just haven't found the right book. There are so many good books out there for everyone. There's funny books, adventure stories, or books about their favorite topic. And this, I think, can make all the difference. Like if your kids are interested in space, then there are lots of good books about space. If they love to watch Peppa Pig, then maybe try a Peppa Pig book. And you can also check out my channel because I do book recommendations almost every week. I'll put a link up here so you can check out the books I've been recommending so far. And if you have any topics that your kids really like and you find it difficult to find the right books that they enjoy, then let me know in the comments and I'll try to find some good ones for you. So, books versus screens. Well, books win for me every time. But I get it, screens have their place too. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this topic. How do you balance books and screen time at home? And if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and be a member of the Bookworm Club. When I'm filming this video, it's just a few days before Christmas, so Merry Christmas. I'll see you next week, but until then, happy reading and take care. Bye!